I was going to make a video showcasing a game I had the other day where I just read my opponents incredibly well, and it felt so freaking good, dude. When you're able to call out exactly what the enemy team is going to do before they do it, it just feels like you're an absolute genius and you just deserve to be winning that game. Now, obviously, I'm not an incredibly high-rated player, so reading the enemy team isn't going to be the most complicated thing in the world. However, when you're playing in a game and you're able to just pick out every little thing that a player is going to do, it feels like you're literally living inside of their mind. I think something I wanted to share in our video today, though, is just that, like, I'm not anything special. Like, that's the kind of point I was getting at with that last part. It doesn't take a lot to be able to read players. All you have to do is think about what you would do in their shoes. You have to just put yourself in their shoes. And oftentimes from there, it becomes a lot easier. For example, a really easy way that you can set the enemy team up to be read is if you are doing the exact same thing every round, they're going to take notice of this. If you make yourself more predictable, somehow the enemy can sometimes become more predictable in a weird way. And if it's not obvious what I mean by that, let me explain to you. Basically, what happened in the game that I was playing was I was playing Sova on bind, and I was reconning into showers at the beginning of every single round, right? This was my default. Me and my Jet would recon into showers, and we would go take showers. Now, the enemy player who was playing towards showers was a breach, actually. And the first time we did this, he really didn't do anything to counter it. He kind of just let it happen. The second time that we did this, I believe he bought an Odin and he tried to spray through the wall for whatever reason. I don't really understand that part. Notice how at this point, I didn't have a lot of information on him. I didn't really know how this breach played, so it's really hard for me to read exactly what he's going to do. But as the game continues, you're going to start getting a more of an understanding of how enemy players play, and you can start making more accurate predictions on what they're going to do. Up until this point, he hasn't done anything to contest us, so I'm just going to keep reconning into showers until he tries to stop. So the next round, what happens is I recon into showers, and rather than nothing happening, he shoots the recon dart. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what's going to happen next, and I'm sure that you can all predict it as well. An enemy breach just shot my recon dart in showers for the first time in the game. What do you think he's going to do? Well, if you thought he was going to flash into showers, you're right. That's exactly what he did. And I predicted it. And instead of getting flashed, I waited for the flash, and then I peeked off of it, and I killed him. Now, it was actually just kind of a bonus that I ended up killing the enemy Sage, who was also there with him. And that's something that you also could predict. Generally, people aren't going to peek things alone. They like to peek things with their teammates. It's normally the smarter decision. But it was still a fun prediction right there. And it doesn't just end there, right? The thing is, when you set up a default and you keep beating enemies with the same strategy, it pisses them off, dude. And when people are pissed off, they're pretty easy to predict, right? This breach doesn't like me pushing in there. He really doesn't like me taking control. So a few rounds later, I noticed that I have my ultimate, and I'm thinking, okay, well, how do I make use of this, right? I don't play a ton of Sova, I'm gonna be honest, but I know that if you know where an enemy is as Sova, you can ult them, and you can sometimes get a free kill. So what I do is I know that they're going to push into showers because they're trying to stop this push I've been doing. So they have to push in to shoot my recon, right? So I've been doing the same recon every round. So I just ult the showers off of the rip, which is a little bit of an aggressive move, but it turned out to be an accurate prediction. This isn't anything crazy that I was doing. It's just basic things that they were doing over the course of the game. I keep reconning into showers. They keep coming to shoot it at this point. So I'm just going to ult it. Because of this, I can't remember if I picked up an early kill or I just tagged the enemy Sage, but I know that it worked. You see, the enemy is going to keep doing new things until something works, right? Now, it's entirely possible they just decide to give us showers and fight over something else, which would probably be an okay decision in this situation. But instead, lastly, I noticed that Breach has his ultimate available, right? And you see where this is going. He has his ultimate available. We're taking showers forcefully every round and kind of dicking on him. That would piss me off. And I know what I would do if I was playing Breach. I would ult showers. So I make this call out to my teammate, and sure enough, here comes Breach ulting showers. Now, I think I accidentally hit scroll wheel because I end up jumping in this encounter and getting myself killed, but because I call this out, my teammate's actually able to pick up too, and it works out great for us. It's just little things like this that I wanted to point out, right? I'm not a genius. I'm really not. I'm not even good at this game. But if you put in a little thought into what your enemies are going to do to react to the things that you're doing, you can come out ahead sometimes, and it feels really good, dude. That's one of the best feelings in this game, is just reading your opponents, just reading them perfectly. Oh, we don't do a bunch of guides anymore on the channel, but I hope this was helpful for somebody. If you guys do enjoy this style of content, though, we do actually do VOD reviews over on the Patreon, so feel free to check that out in the description below. But yeah, recently I started actually stacking with a couple of friends. I don't normally stack when I play this game. I normally like to play in solo duo, but it's been a lot more fulfilling for me to play in a stack of people who like are good at communicating and good at working with each other, because it really gives my game sense just more of a chance to shine, because I don't really feel like I'm an incredibly mechanically gifted player. And I think that one of my biggest faults is I actually tilt like really hard when I play this game. But just having people that I can play with and enjoy playing with, and I can actually kind of shot call with, has just been so much more fulfilling to me. Don't get me wrong, physically outplaying people and landing some really nasty shots feels really good, but mentally outplaying people just feels so rewarding. When you beat somebody just because you know that you were smarter than them, it's not because you put more hours into Kovacs or because you just landed a lucky shot. It's because you were just smarter than them. That's such a good feeling. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video there, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.